Browne and Dan Lawrence combined for a century third-wicket partnership that laid the foundations to enhance Essex's remaining ambition of going through the Division 1 season unbeaten. The pair had put on an unbroken 128 stand to increase the champion county's first innings lead of 116 to 250 when bad light caused an early finish with 8 overs remaining. At that point, Browne was 53 from 134 balls and Lawrence 75 from 143. The Yorkshire bowlers toiled for 48 overs on a wicket that became slower and easier for batting the longer the partnership went on. Browne and Lawrence started watchfully after Jack Brooks had removed Varun Chopra and Ravi Bopara in the space of 3 balls in his second over, both pinned plumb in front, and with only 6 on the board. It was perhaps fortunate for Yorkshire they had claimed the points necessary to avoid relegation from Division 1 on day 1, as they were dismissed for 111 and 46 overs by mid-afternoon on day 2. Jamie Porter, Neil Wagner and Simon Harmer split 9 of the wickets equally between themselves. Porter claimed his for 29 runs in 14 overs, Wagner at a personal cost of 21 from 9, and Harmer for 36. Browne and Lawrence got their heads down for a period of crease occupancy that was initially so obdurate that it was not until Lawrence's 54th ball that he hit his first boundary, crashing Stephen Patterson through the covers to move from 5 to 9. The tempo went up noticeably as they approached the 50 partnership, reached in 23 overs, at which point Lawrence struck 2 fours and an over from Patterson. A flurry of boundaries followed, Lawrence's 7th lofted back over Carl Carver's head before the spinner suffered worse when Lawrence skipped down the wicket and launched a 6-over long leg. Lawrence beat Browne to half a century, clipping Ben Coate to the long leg boundary for 2. A measure of how his scoring sped up was that he needed just 49 balls to move from 5 to 50, reached in 103 balls. The century partnership followed soon after from 36 overs. Browne's 50, which included 5 fours, 3 of them in 2 overs from Coate, took slightly longer after he became becalmed in the 40s. A pushed single in the onside took him to the mark from 124 balls. When Yorkshire batted in the morning, Porter made the initial breakthrough on a pitch that had lost some of its spite of the first day. He produced one that nipped in late to remove Craig Brathwaite's off-stump with the West Indian aiming through mid-wicket. Brathwaite had needed 21 balls to get off the mark, driving Porter to the cover boundary for 3, but only added another single from the remaining 7 deliveries faced. Adam Lyth showed no respect to Harmer when the off-spinner was introduced into the attack, pulling his first ball for 4 and lofting the second straight for 6. However, 3 balls later, Alex Lees prodded forward to try and smother any turn and nicked behind to James Foster. Foster claimed a second catch when a quicker ball from Wagner moved away to end Lyth's 52-ball innings on 35. 7 balls later, and the New Zealand Test player had a second wicket when he swung one back into pin jack-leaning LBW. Wagner had a hand in Yorkshire's 5th wicket too. Andrew Hodd straight drove a full toss and the bowler deflected onto the stumps with Gary Bollins, on unlucky 13, a foot out of his crease. Hodd went to the last ball before lunch, LBW to Wagner, before Matt Fisher and Patterson showed some resistance in the 9 overs afterwards, while adding just 8 runs. That sedate pace was the prelude to 3 wickets falling in 14 balls. Porter pinned Patterson LBW. Harmer had Brooks flashing outside off-stump to be snapped up behind before Fisher exposed his stumps to give Porter a 3rd wicket. The last pair took Yorkshire into 3 figures before Harmer had Carl Carver trying to leave one alone, but gloving behind. Porter and Harmer now have 143 championship wickets between them with 1 more innings left in which to improve the total.